way you say them, how you put them together, that's okay. It is because he's a poet. Thank you. Please, let's get into let's get into it. Okay, out of the many, I have favorites. You have a lot.
I have a lot.
Yo, you are wangwala ungwetsi. I'm like, so many poems. Where have they been sitting? In the brain, somewhere shelved, packed, and you shall return. And now is the time that you have returned. Now you are taking them out, and I'm like, yo, Kgosi, yo.
Yeah, man. I think they've been coming over time. Because that's the beauty of art. It doesn't happen like a meteor hits immediately. Nah, you learn through it. I think artists ba moldwa ke art ya bona. So when you are a dancer, you can't be very completely skinny like me. There's something that there are steps, there's motion, there are things that it knits in you as an individual. If it's about character, what you're dancing, you're gonna be that sort of character.
True.
So as a poet, it was we itse go la mo lefatsheng le le yang. Nna nako ke ya ko sekolong ka ke le ke ya DPC wa bona. And in the rioting times nako re chisa di library and stuff. Wa bona. So even na khanya go tush wa bona ali tush I have to learn how to ward myself from stuff. Khale ke batla go bitsiwa. So the tongue has always been the idea of the artifacts. The Bible was like, hey, he's the Holy One. So I was always shunned away from such. In a sense, the good words come from specifically being humble and always asking for guidance. Because for me, initially it's Proverbs. From the Bible, Proverbs in reality.
King Solomon.
Because
so good.
He win. Because Proverbs give you an ideal self of you. As you read it, I can be this. I think I'm this. I know I've been this, but yeah. So Proverbs, all of them. Because and hadi easy, so you have to understand, delve into them, and love them. So I think the soft words Karamo.
You're good. Speaking of Kaba, let's get into I Am Black. I said to you, was it off air?
It was off air.
Yeah, I said to you, when you read someone's book, you read and you close the book and it's like, yo. And then you go outside and then you come back and you read and you go, this is so me. Yo, I'm troubled.
Yeah.
You know what? Why? Okay, I find myself there. The blacked out black.
Yes.
The smoking pot black. I see myself there, and I see also a lot of things that happen around my society, my community. There's where you also talk about where not covering up is popular and it looks fashionable. So many things. It's packed, and you say you are that black.
Yes.
Let's talk us through I Am Black. I love it. It's outstands all of the poems that I've read. And we'll get to the letter to the perfect stranger afterwards. Yes.
I Am Black was birthed in the Grove, the Fifth Grove Mafia gang, whilst I was still go university. So I met up with a group of artists, great persons, people who have helped me become the person I am, in character. And we were writing poems, and it came at that time. Yeah, you notice the society you're in, and you are a poet now, when you are poetized, and we are teaching each other. And the more you are teaching, the more you are seeing, the more you absorb your society, the more you see it's not the society. It's like it's irky. ha ke ithat. That's where it came from. So it was an angry poem sentence. And one of my friends, similar to Bukhud, was like, you should write a happier poem in the future.
I said, speaking of khotlaba, you know, that boldness, that freedom of speech, of course, that it's confronting. It's buvela. You are this, you know, or rather, you've been through this.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay. When let's talk about the not covering of, I think you're talking about girls, young. Yeah. Let's talk about that. What is it bothering you?
It's bothersome because it is not intended. Because people are consuming certain information and they're expressing it, excurging it without thinking of maybe small consequences of it, times of it, and also nuances that it might create to other people. Because at Jarnoyana, we freely express ourselves. So everybody feels the way they feel, so they will act the way they act. But how does it come across? And I feel that's where majority of us in society start on harishe with idea. Yeah, how does it come across? No yana 9 years old, Mokuzo, was raped 2 weeks back. The perpetrators or the people who are by Babambatsuri, and the fault is not on the child.
No, it's not.
The fault is, we can say, it's on the men who are the perpetrators of this. But I've also learned it is maybe not them. It is other things that might be on them or in them or manifesting through them.
Deep.
So society allows for things that are not pleasant to play without guarding of the consequences. Baholo included. They are not guarding the youth or us. They are not channeling us in a proactive manner, so that we can live, because life is it. That's the wealth of it. Life is it. The more you live, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you produce. The more you produce, the more you yield. But because we are not netting it, we are not actively doing it, we are allowing things to happen. And then government today, whereas we ourselves are not trying to carve that from our children in our own homes. We are not doing it. So Bongi successful no grand beautiful ngwana Bongi ke tshara o tlala go di taveneng what ha bar libilo a fail and o represent rona nna le wena batho bantsho specifically.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, before we get to the other one, because it's so deep, man, because it covers a lot of things that people have experienced. Some people are also experiencing now. I mean, now I go to high school, you know, and myself also. Even when I was in high school, I would do certain things. I would smoke, go to the toilet, you know. You know, are you specifically there? Is there an incident or something that occurred to you?
Yes.
On I Am Black.
Most of the things.
Where are you there?
Most of the things have happened to me there. Others I've experienced with others, like a friend of mine. They were having a relationship with a lecturer. It didn't end up well.
Oh wow.
Now I'm those who wanna smoking pot the whole day. I wanna not doing anything type of black. And the blacked out black. So so in essence, and sometimes o batla go entsha and that is the whole idea of it. So you etswe so that you can better yourself. That and that's why you bona ke le mongata santse ke fokotsa santse ke na le tse dintsi ke le mo go tsone mo I am black mara ke a di hokotsa. I'm in that weaving process. Yes,
that's good, so good. There's a saying called "try them all and keep none." I would say that, you know, when when I was having my beer on my hand, cigarette on the other, like, yeah, try them all, keep none, you know. My time of keeping none is coming, you know. Whilst I'm here, like I'm doing my listen. So in just what I'm trying to say is that so many people have lived.
Yes.
Everything you've spoken about on I Am Black, people have lived. I have lived, and I'm glad that it's no longer that shame. It doesn't even evoke shame. Like, oh, I'm gonna talk about this. Like the way you just said, you know, you had blackouts and no kugiwa. And the way you are saying it, it means that you are free.
Yes,
you are free. You are delivered. You don't hold the guilt, the shame, the fear of what are people going to say. I mean, like, this is a podcast. People are know that I used to do that. How did you even get there? Like, how did you even get? Was it a switch? Like,
no, I mean,
because it's a struggle. I'm sorry, it's a struggle for many people to shake it off. You know, like a wet dog. I mean, like, you know, I'm not my past. I'm not my failure. You know, I'm just gonna see this life, walk through it. God is gonna cruise me through this life. It's not easy. How did you get there?
Support. Support from all the elements of my life, from my parents, from my brothers, my cousins, my friends. I think I hold a very interesting group of people in my life. People who inspire me. So when it comes to confidence, I feel everybody has been adding. So I'm very, very confident, I think. So I get to read what's in it. O tshwantse fela o tshoge dilo tse rileng. Mara o ska tshoga botshelo, o ska tshoga batho. O tshoge modimo. O itlhaloganye and o sa gelle go ya ko pele. So for me, it has always been that honesty is the ari itse ba botle, but we learn it. So you have to be honest with yourself. Kgosietsile Monoto le re rulaganya le ba malapa